When the unexpected plunges us into a life and death emergency, sometimes only our own inner strength can keep us alive. I'm William Shatner. Tonight, 2 stories of courage against all odds on Rescue 911. We begin on the afternoon of November 12th, 1989, at a small airport in Frankfort, Indiana, where some friends were enjoying the final weeks before winter set in.
When you leave the door, every cell of your body is focused on what you're doing. So that's the great part about this sport. It's so totally captivating.
Having performed at many skydiving exhibitions, Mark Schlater and his friend Steve Kivett were rehearsing a stunt known as an intentional cutaway.
On this particular day, we were using a very small 12-foot parachute. Never was it intended for carrying a man. If you hang a man under this parachute, he's going to hit the ground at 50 to 60 miles an hour.
Now, one more time, on the exit.
So I explained to him, here's the way it's packed. I want you to hold it between your hands, twist out into the airflow, and put it behind your head.
With both hands up, toss it.
After riding the small cargo chute for a while, Steve would then cut it away so he could release his main chute.
We decided to do this jump from 8,000 feet. The higher you are, the safer you are, because the more time you have to deal with an emergency.
4 other people in the plane were planning to jump at 5,000 feet, including Steve's girlfriend, Angie Sellers.
I was getting ready to make a skydive myself. I had a new system that I'd never jumped before, so I was pretty nervous.
Mark planned to take still photos of Steve during the jump using a helmet camera.
We're excited about this. This is going to be a very unusual, wild and crazy skydive, and we're both looking forward to it. Everything appeared normal. But as I passed him and began to deploy my main parachute, I noticed that the 12-foot, or the small parachute, was much higher above his head than it should have been. So there's an instant there that something has gone wrong here. I don't know what it is. I hope that Steve knows what it is, but at any rate, we have plenty of time to figure this out. With a 50-mile-an-hour rate of descent and me with a normal open parachute, the only way I could match his rate of descent was to put my canopy in a violent spin. And I'm spiraling and he's roaring out of the sky. Every time I would slow down my spin, he would get further and further away.
Mark kept expecting Steve to cut away the small chute so he could open his main one, but he never did. Angie was unaware that Steve was having any problems.
And I just touched down to land and didn't even have my gear off. The parachute's just behind me, everything's still on. And somebody yells, "Kivett's in trouble." And I just turned around, where?
Come on, Steve,
And my heart was going about 1,000,000 miles a minute.
what is wrong with you?
We thought, is he just pushing this just to get an extra thrill? What's going on? And he was getting lower and lower, and nothing was happening.
No, come on.
I knew he was in trouble because at that altitude, if he didn't do something right then, he wasn't going to make it.
When we continue.
That's when it really started to hit me that, my God, he's going to have to land with this small parachute. And I had no reason to think that he could live through that.